I'm Tiana Xavier, and I'm in Schenectady, New York at Penny Williams Hair Salon, where the Veterans Miracle Center is putting on their brand new Veterans Miracle Makeover show. And they are giving a very lucky veteran nominee a full makeover, and her name is Sydney Dixon. As we've been seeing in parts of Albany, the warm weather recently has been seemingly melting the winter away. But here in the Berkshires, that is certainly not the case. Now, for reference, I'm 5'4". This snowbank below me must be about 3 or 4 of me tall. But the costs associated with snow removal here in the Berkshires and generally are on the rise. We spoke with the Commissioner of Public Works in Pittsfield, and here's a little bit of what we learned.
We sell fun here.
Andy Couch knows about fun. He's been skiing at Maple Ski Ridge since he was 4 and working there for the past 8 seasons. He and his colleagues are now working hard to get the mountain ready to open.
Unbreakable Nutrition also burned, a customer telling me the news brought them to tears. Their sister stores Untamed Nutrition in Glenmont and Unmatched Nutrition in Rensselaer say they are working on ways to help as well. The businesses we spoke to thanking first responders and say right now they're putting one foot in front of the other with their plans to rebuild.
Their checks in many cases. There's still no word on when those locally will receive their back pay. So the community efforts continue to support TSA workers in the meantime during what has been a difficult financial situation. News 10's Peyton Cavanaugh brings us the story and how the community is trying to help.
Today, the regional food bank sorted, packed, and distributed all of this. This is 200 bags of groceries for TSA workers that continue to work for weeks on end without pay. This is the second time they've done this amidst this partial government shutdown.
This is now the 4th time since the fall that they have stepped up for our TSA officers, and their generosity has gone a long, long way.
On Friday, President Trump signed an executive order for all TSA employees to be paid immediately, using emergency funds. But according to airport officials, the timeline is currently uncertain, and in the last shutdown, it took weeks for TSA officers to be compensated after it reopened.
I've anecdotally heard of a few who have taken second jobs to get them through this shutdown, having to make tough choices about how and where to spend the money that they have. So needless to say, I know they're very happy that they're going to be receiving paychecks again.
Today, volunteers with the food bank packed 200 bags to the brim with grocery items.
We're doing a really nutrient-dense bag with a lot of proteins and a lot of different things that they can, fruits and vegetables and other stuff they may need to help get them through.
It's all then loaded into trucks by volunteers with the airport firehouse and taken to the TSA employees. Officials with the food bank say it's important to keep all of this in perspective.
Not only is our TSA workers not being compensated for their work, we're also in the midst of rising gas prices. We're also in the midst of inflation. We're also in the midst of where everything costs more. Energy costs more, lights cost more, heat costs more. And so the rest will have to go into work every day and spend gas to get to work, not know when your next paycheck is going to come from. It's almost overwhelming.
And as we near a resolution to a very difficult situation, airport officials are expressing gratitude.
Thank you. Thank you to the TSA officers who have continued to show up under very challenging circumstances. And thank you to everyone in the community that has supported them over the past month.
Reporting in Latham, Peyton Cavanaugh, News 10, ABC.
Democrats will soon control every single seat on Troy City Council. They're looking to pass measures that previously failed, like good cause eviction. The crowd was ecstatic on election night at the Democratic Watch Party as Democrats picked up those city council seats one by one. Noreen McKee, Greg Campbell-Cohen, and Shakol Struber represent half of the newly elected city council.
I ran to make South Troy a safer, more affordable, and more welcoming place, and to ensure that local representation was communicative with residents.
They say affordability and keeping the city's budget balanced were among the top concerns. McKee knows accounting. She's a CPA.
I want to make sure that we have strong finances going forward. That's so important to everyone, all the taxpayers and the voters in Troy.
Struber says traffic calming measures were a priority for her constituents. Campbell-Cohen says he's heard additional concerns.
Whether the water coming out of their pipes is toxic, whether they can go to bed at night knowing that they're going to be able to stay in that apartment and that they're going to be able to afford that apartment, whether their car is going to be there in the morning. These are the things that actually impact working people.
The political power will soon be divided in Troy once again. Republican Mayor Carmela Montello sharing a statement that read in part, "I appreciate the perspective shared by our newly elected council members and look forward to working together on behalf of the people of Troy. That spirit of collaboration begins with facts and a shared commitment to responsible governance." She welcomes the new council and says she's confident they can work together.
Having disagreements gets you to a better end product. So you can have a different idea, that's fine, as long as everybody can be respectful and work together to move things forward, and that's the goal.
We all should be here to work for the people of Troy, the taxpayers, the voters, all the residents of Troy.
Reporting in Troy, Karina Dominguez, News 10 ABC.
Right here in Albany, New York State Marine Highway Transportation sends its tugboats out on the Hudson and up the Mohawk, breaking up ice like this that can be upwards of 1.5 feet thick. And that work never stops this time of year.
If you enjoy what you're doing, you never work a day in your life. We're excited about this thaw, though. A little warmer weather coming.
Starting with the movement of goods, Captain Chris Blauberg and his crew are on call for industries like quarry and oil. Those ships and barges have to dock, and to do so, the ice-clearing tugboat has to get ahead of the vessel and break the ice all the way to the dock. The tugboats will even help the boats in that maneuver.
If a ship can't get up here, heating oil, salt, all the necessary things we need to get through our winters up here, it doesn't happen. So if we can't do our jobs and we don't do our jobs, then the rest of the community suffers, unfortunately.
Captain Blauberg said that with this winter, they've experienced a stronger buildup of ice, which can directly impact communities.
We had a salt ship a few weeks ago that got about halfway up the river, and they got stuck. The Coast Guard cutters came and they tried to break them out, and it just got to be too much where they actually turned around, and so there was a deficit of salt up in this area, and in the wintertime we know how imperative salt is.
The Marine Highway Transportation is also contracted by New York State Canals to break ice jams on the Mohawk, helping that river flow. Reporting in Albany, Peyton Kavanaugh, News 10 ABC.
Today's Farm Day at Pathways, and they are a wonderful partner. They're part of our outreach program. We come to Pathways every couple of months, and we just get to interact with residents. A lot of them are our campers that come in the summer, so it's really great to see them throughout the year. And today is very special because all the residents get to interact with animals.
I'm so thankful that it's Farm Day today. This is so amazing, having all the animals here. It's amazing to see what we can do with all the kids and how much fun they get to have still out here.
The chickens are cute, the bunnies, the horses.
I'm so happy to be able to come out and see all of the people that have been living at Pathways and all of the staff that's here. I've heard such amazing things, and I love the fact that we get to bring our camp environment out.
I just looked up to people when I was a kid and camper, and all my counselors, I'd be like, oh, I want to be like him so much, like behind the scenes. And seeing the behind the scenes, it's really cool.
I love going every year when I go. I hope every counselor and camper have so much fun there.
I look forward to seeing Double H. I started going to camp when I was just 5 years old. I was a very shy kid, but now I'm older and I'm talking to everyone.
It feels so amazing to be able to see the joy in kids that I used to feel, and to feel that kind of sense of welcoming and belonging and inclusivity and just being celebrated for who you are, and just having the kids feel that confidence and bravery.